In Venezuela, there was a weapon used, a sonic weapon, that took out many of the Cuban bodyguards that were used to defend Maduro. Lots of people saw the details about that weapon and were concerned. Is that something that Americans should be afraid of, something the United States is combating?
Yeah, it's something I don't want to, nobody else has it. We have weapons that nobody knows about. And I say it's probably good not to talk about it, but we have some amazing weapons. That was an amazing attack.
All right, buckle up, buttercups, because today we're diving headfirst into a truly wild ride. Donald Trump, never one to shy away from, shall we say, unconventional pronouncements, has apparently just confirmed the existence of a secret sonic weapon. A weapon so potent it can silence dissent and make your head feel like it's doing the Macarena from the inside. This isn't some bad sci-fi movie, folks. This is our reality, or at least the reality they want us to believe. We're going to break down this clip, call out the nonsense, and connect the dots to what this really means for us, the everyday people. Get ready to have your minds blown, and maybe your eardrums too.
So that is Donald Trump with an interview with News Nation's Katie Pavlich, where he confirmed the use of a new kind of weapon that was used in the raid to get Nicolas Maduro. And I would just have you bear in mind that he was asked by Katie Pavlich, should the American people be worried about this? And he did not reassure us that that we'll be fine. He just skipped over that part, Cenk. What's your 2 cents?
Hold up. Did you just catch that? Katie Pavlich asked a perfectly reasonable question. Should Americans be worried? And Trump, bless his heart, just skips over it. Like it's a commercial break he's not getting paid for. This isn't just a gaffe, people. It's a feature, not a bug, of how these people operate. When you're the one wielding a secret sonic weapon, the last thing you want to do is reassure the peasants. No. The point is to keep us on edge, to keep us a little bit scared, a little bit compliant. It's the classic strongman playbook. Project immense power, hint a terrifying capability, and then leave just enough ambiguity to keep everyone guessing, and more importantly, obedient. It's like a parent telling their kid, I have a secret way to make your room clean, and you really don't want to find out what it is. You don't need to be specific. The fear of unknown does all the heavy lifting. It's real. The idea that any government has weapons nobody knows about is inherently terrifying, especially when the guy confirming it sounds like he's bragging about a new toy. We should always be worried when our leaders are cagey about their destructive capabilities. Always. Constantly worried.
Yeah, so we'll come back to that. First, set one is, we have weapons that no one knows about, well, until now. Okay,
yeah.
But okay, kidding aside, sent two, this is a deeply problematic weapon. And even if we're the only ones that have it now, tick, 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 within weeks, months, whatever it is, the others will have them. So wait till you find out what this weapon is. This is kind of a disaster. And I'm super worried it's going to lead to authoritarianism throughout the world.
Yeah, well, let's jump into what we know about it, not just from Trump's interview, but from Carolyn Leavitt, who 2 weeks ago had shared an alleged eyewitness account from a bodyguard that was loyal to Nicolas Maduro talking about the effect of the weapon. So she tweeted this, stop what you're doing and read this, with a bunch of American flags for some reason. And so this is a security guard talking to an interviewer, and we don't know exactly where this interview comes from. It apparently had been shared by Mike Netter, the conservative vice chair of the Rebuild California campaign. And so I'm gonna read the excerpts from the interview. And as I do this, let's play a little fun game. Imagine you were a propagandist for the Trump regime. Try to find a way that you would change this to make it be more what Trump would want. And I defy you to find a way to do that. So the Venezuelan security guard supposedly said, on the day of the operation, we didn't hear anything coming. We were on guard, but suddenly all of our radar systems shut down without any explanation. The next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones flying over our positions. We didn't know how to react. The interviewer says, and then the battle began. Security guard, yes, But it was a massacre. We were hundreds, but we had no chance. They were shooting with such precision and speed. It seemed like each soldier was firing 300 rounds per minute. We couldn't do anything. Interviewer says, in your own weapons, didn't they help? Security guard says, no help at all, because it wasn't just the weapons. At one point, they launched something, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. The interviewer said, and your comrades, did they manage to resist? Security guard, no, not at all. Those 20 men, without a single casualty, killed hundreds of us. We had no way to compete with their technology, with their weapons. I swear I've never seen anything like it. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon, or whatever it was. And then the interviewer says, so do you think the rest of the region should think twice before confronting the Americans? Security guard, without a doubt. I'm sending a warning to anyone who thinks they can fight the United States. They have no idea what they're capable of. After what I saw, I never want to be on the other side of that again. They're not to be messed with.
Okay.
Come on, Jay. I'm not even saying that that's not true that that happened. Maybe they did all this stuff and they killed everybody. Certainly we don't know of any casualties, so sure, they wiped out 200 people. This is what he said.
Okay, so first of all, I enjoyed your dramatic reading.
Thank you.
Okay, second of all, I don't know what he means by they were firing 300 rounds per minute. Okay, because that's not the sonic weapon, that's just random, right? So that's weird. And then the last paragraph was, yeah, it was too much, right? Like, oh, America is not to be messed with. Now remember, everyone, preemptively surrender. Okay, all right, I got it. But this guy's not the only one saying it. And so I have heard.
Yeah, I don't doubt that they have the weapon. I'm just saying that was written by either Stephen Miller or ChatGPT or both.
Bingo. Give that person a prize. Written by Stephen Miller or ChatGPT or both. I mean, come on. You could practically hear the dramatic music swelling in the background as that security guard delivers his lines. I swear, I've never seen anything like this before. We had no way to compete. It's practically a recruitment video for the military-industrial complex. This is exactly how the propaganda machine works, folks. You don't just have a secret weapon. You make sure everyone knows you have it. And you craft a narrative around it that screams, don't even think about messing with us. It's not about truth. It's about projecting an image of invincible, terrifying power. And the fact that a conservative operative, Mike Netter, is the one sharing this eyewitness account just screams craziness from a mile away. They're trying to inject this narrative into a public discourse through credible sources. It's like when your uncle shares a dubious meme on Facebook and says, a friend of a friend told him this was true. We need to be critical consumers of information, especially when it comes to military might and secret weapons. The goal isn't just deterrence, it's control. It's about manufacturing consent for endless wars and ever-increasing defense budgets. Don't fall for the hype, people. Question absolutely everything.
Which goes to an interesting point, John, which is why are they telling everybody about our secret weapon, right? So you've got this way of kind of advertising it, and then in case you didn't see it, Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, goes, look here at our secret weapon, right? Yeah. And then Trump confirms it. Okay, I get it. They want the world to know. And why do they want them to know? It's actually pretty easy to figure that out because they want to intimidate them. And they want to say, hey, don't fight us. You have no chance. On the other hand, I have heard from several different sources about the sonic weapon, okay? So again, until it's confirmed, until you see it, you never know for sure, right? But it sounds like we do have a sonic weapon, and so that the part that is relevant in that is the description of it feels like an implosion inside your own head, the bleeding from the nose, the vomiting of the blood, etc., and you're completely incapacitated. And that does begin to explain how do we go into a compound with about 100 guards and with 20 guys or however many it was, and we don't lose a single guy. That is very improbable, right? Even if they're the greatest fighters in the world, there's too many guys.
Yeah.
So they clearly had some massive advantage that we are not used to, okay? And so my best guess is that the sonic weapon is real. And so now, what happens when China gets it? Okay, now that's an issue. What happens when terrorists get it? What happens when Israel gets it? But what happens when Iran gets it or Hezbollah gets it, right? So if it's real, then people are going to start using it everywhere. And it's going to turn into a disaster. And by the way, the most important part of that is not the invasion of each other, right? And yes, for a while we have an advantage, or Chinese or the Israelis have it, and they have an advantage, they'll attack everyone. I don't know about the Chinese. They have actually not been very warlike. But Israel will attack every Muslim country on earth, right, with that weapon, or make us do it, right? But that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is you're going to protest your own government wherever you are. They bring out the sonic weapon. Well, there goes the whole protest.
And this, my friends, is where the rubber meets the road. This is truly the most horrifying part that these warmongers and fearmongers gloss over. It's not just about don't fight us abroad. It's about don't fight us at home. Think about it. A non-lethal weapon that harms you, makes you bleed from your nose, vomit blood, and feel like your head is imploding. That's not non-lethal. That's a sophisticated torture device designed for crowd control. It's a tool to silence dissent without the messy optics of bullets and batons. Imagine protesting for climate action, for racial justice, for healthcare, and suddenly you're on the ground, in pain, bleeding, and your message literally silenced by a wave of silence. This isn't some distant threat. This is the logical conclusion of unchecked power and a militarized of all police forces. This is the crazy future cyberpunk authors warned us about. Not with chrome limbs and neon cities, but with invisible waves that crush your will to resist. We're already seeing governments around the world cracking down on protests with increasing brutality. Giving them a weapon like this, cloaked in a guise of non-lethal technology, it's like handing a pyromaniac a flamethrower and telling them it's just for controlled burning. We need to be absolutely terrified of this kind of technology in the hands of any government, because history has shown us time and time again that these tools of oppression always, and I say always, find their way back to control their own citizens. Stay vigilant, stay loud, and don't let them silence us.
Yeah, they'll say it's non-lethal. And sure, you're vomiting blood, but that's just libs exaggerating.
Yeah, and maybe you'll die a couple of years from now from whatever brain damage we caused, right? Yeah. But meanwhile, everyone's incapacitated. So that's we're about to enter an era, guys, and I don't want to scare you too much, but and I'm the hope guy, so I'm the last guy to say everything is doom and gloom, right? But super worried about it. Even if it's not this, the robots are coming, right? The Pentagon has shown us the robots that they're working on that are lethal, et cetera. Then you've got the drones, then you've got Palantir in the surveillance state. The walls are closing in. Soon, the powerful will have an ability to surveil all of us at all times. And then if you get out of line, they make your head seem like it's imploding and you're vomiting blood.
Yeah.
So how do you beat that kind of machine? So
I don't know.
I'm super worried about it.
Yeah. Maybe a good time to catch up on some classic cyberpunk literature, because this is basically how it works, and also the form of government that ends up producing it.
So there you have it, folks. From Trump's nonchalant confirmation to the thinly veiled propaganda and the terrifying implications from our fundamental rights to protest, this secret sonic weapon story is a clear and scary, chilling peek into the future they're building for us. It's a future where dissent is a headache, literally, and resistance is met with invincible force. But here's the thing: knowledge is power. The understanding of these tactics, seen through the smoke and mirrors, is our first line of defense. So tell me, what do you think? Is this just typical Trump bluster, or are we truly on the verge of a new era of authoritarian control? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, share it with everyone who needs to hear this, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive in the political chaos. Stay woke, stay loud, and let's keep fighting for a world where our voices can't be silenced by anything, let alone a sound wave.